Hello, this is Johnny. Welcome to another awesome collection of vintage item from the 1960s, late 1960s, a Mad magazine. Continuing on with looking at some of my different magazines. I do a lot of videos on comics, and I have lots of other vintage magazines going back all the way back to the 1930s with pulps, and then World War II magazines from World War II in the 40s and so forth and on up. If you'd like, please subscribe, hit that notification bell, like, reply, and share. Here we go. Number 127, June of 69. 35-cent cheap. And there we have the Odd Squad instead of the Mod Squad. Pete, Link, and Julie, and Captain Greer. And look who they did. They probably get in trouble for that now. They made Alfred E. Neuman, an East Indian from India, all kinds of different people. Look at the back. 60-second disappointment about the Polaroids. Yeah, a lot of times, way back then, they might have improved them later on, but they'd come out real dark and didn't look right. So there's the ad on the back. One Day on the Prairie. Don Martin. They always had something a little bit different there under the heading. What's in it? Send away and subscribe with the features. Always like the lighter side, and they're going to do Bullet, the Steve McQueen Bullet movie. I'll look through here. Now that's cool. They're looking at Robert Wagner and Malachi Fonet from their show It Takes a Thief, so they must have been looking at their satire of that show. Letters. Sending away. I have a lot of Mad paperbacks too. They did a lot of those. Mad magazine went for decades. Started out in the 50s by EC Comics, and before it was magazine size, I believe it was comic book size. There's the Odd Squad, doing a takeoff of the beginning of that show. If you've never seen it, it's a fun show. And if you have seen it, you can hear the theme music, very fun, dramatic, of them running, and so forth at the beginning of the thing. Good theme music for it. Of the cast members, only Pete, Michael Cole, is with us. Everybody else is passed on as I'm filming this, 2022. The one-pagers for the Don Martin. There was a lot of reading, especially when you were a kid. I mean, look at that, if you're going to read all that and get the jokes and so forth. The president had picked the... That was a big thing, the Miss America pageant for years. And this is all takeoff of the political people of the time, Johnson and Nixon and so forth. This is pretty cool. They actually have pictures of G.I. Joe and Barbie. And this particular little takeoff, I had forgotten that they were in there. If you look at my channel, I'm a big G.I. Joe and vintage collector, so it's neat seeing. These are the soldiers of the world they did. So that's where you're seeing them, German and Japanese and so forth, besides the regular American soldier. Barbie, Ken, lighter side. These are always fun. I collected these, I think, up off and on till the 90s. I didn't buy them regularly, but I got quite a few, and then later on I bought back issues like I did on everything. So this is a back issue. This costs like about $5 or something. Probably still only sells for that. I've seen on some few early Mad magazines, they actually send them into CGC and have them graded and encapsulated in the plastic and so forth. But they still don't go for that much, so. Bullet, the Steve McQueen. There's Robert Vaughn from Man from U.N.C.L.E. He was in this movie. That series had just ended, so he was in some movies again. Steve McQueen was always considered cool. I always liked The Great Escape that he was in. That was a real good movie. Then in the 70s, he was in The Towering Inferno, one of the disaster-type movies by Irwin Allen. There's the Mad Fold-In. This one's unfolded. And fold it and see what the picture is. Alright, so that's a look at a vintage Mad magazine. 1969. This is 2022. My goodness. Getting to be over 50 years old. Till next time, more vintage items to come. Awesome collection. Thank you.